And we've got 4 Indiana Fever players in the top 10, which I think can be expected. And there's a supposed, people keep telling me, supposed second most popular player in the league that doesn't look like the second most popular player at all.
Did you just happen? Caitlin Clark is absolutely dominating the WNBA All-Star fan voting with an exact total of 515,993 votes. That's not just a lead, as a statement. Meanwhile, Angel Reese, the player everyone keeps calling the face of the league, didn't even crack the top 10. And get this, 4 other Indiana Fever players are climbing the ranks with her, making this voting race even crazier. Clip 2. How did Clark's fans flip the script and turn the All-Star race upside down? If you're hyped by these numbers, smash that like button and subscribe for the latest WNBA updates. Let's get into what's really driving this fan
list is out, man. Check out what Chloe ended up stating. Caitlin Clark is number 1 in All-Star fan voting in the first returns the league just announced. Clark has 515,993 votes, while Minnesota's Nafisa Collier is second and Indiana's Aaliyah Boston is third.
Fan base has become an unstoppable force in the WNBA. Her 515,993 votes are the only mark above 500,000 this year. And that's not just impressive, it's a level of support that nobody else is even close to matching.
Nafisa Collier, who is probably the leader of the MVP pack right now, is at 485,000.
Respect to the next closest is Nafisa Collier, sitting at around 485,000 votes. That gap is huge. There's even talk that Clark could break the 1 million vote barrier by the end of the period, something the league has never seen before. This isn't just about a star player getting a lot of attention. It's about a movement that's changing the way the league looks at its own fans. And it's not just Clark who's benefiting from this surge.
5 players looking like they're going to be in the All-Star game. Check this out. You got Caitlin Clark right here. Aaliyah Boston right here, right? We'll go down a tad bit. Kelsey Mitchell. Go down a little bit. Lexi Hull. That's 4. That's 4 already. And then at 16, you have Natasha Howard, fam. Yo, oh my goodness, man. I know they are eating crow right now, man. Swinging.
Right, the Indiana Fever are suddenly everywhere in the voting. Aaliyah Boston is sitting in 3rd place with about 447,000 votes. Kelsey Mitchell is around 277,000. Lexi Hull has about 217,000. Natasha Howard is hanging in at 16th, and Sophie Cunningham is climbing fast at 23rd. That's 5 Fever players with a real shot at All-Star spots. And it's almost all thanks to the energy Clark's fans are bringing. They're not just voting for Clark, they're making sure her teammates get noticed too. That kind of influence is rare. Most players can't pull their whole team into the spotlight just by showing.
Fan base is the most dangerous fan base in a good way. All right, when it comes to voting.
What makes Clark's fan base different? It's more than stats or highlights. The connection runs deeper. Fans see her as clutch, someone who shows up when it matters. That kind of player inspires loyalty for her supporters. Voting isn't just a click, it's personal. It's about making sure she gets a recognition. They believe she's earned. Nobody expected this to happen at the scale. Sure, Clark came into the season with plenty of hype, but nobody thought she'd be pulling in over 500,000 votes with a real shot at 1 million. That's the kind of momentum that changes things. The numbers are already rewriting the story of the WNBA this season. Clark's fans are proving that they're not going to let anyone else decide who matters in this league. They're taking control of the narrative, and the league can't ignore it.
Million votes this time, because I saw somebody earlier that said so far voting is actually way up versus exactly where we was at this time last year.
And not just about the numbers of voting results, our message, all those attempts to downplay Clark's impact or shift the spotlight somewhere else, they've only fired up her supporters. Even more, the fans are saying loud and clear that they want to see Clark and her teammates front and center. The league's old marketing playbook is starting to look outdated. Fans aren't waiting for the media to tell them who the stars are. They're making those decisions themselves, and Clark is at the heart of.
If you were thinking that you were going to be able to keep Caitlin Clark out of the All-Star vote, you're crazy, man. All right? You're really out of your mind if you thought you were going to be able to keep Caitlin Clark out of the All-Star vote.
But Clark's fan base is rewriting the rules. There's another story playing out on the other side of the vote totals. There's a player the league and the media have been pushing as the next big thing, but the fans just aren't responding the same way.
I've yet to see the name Angel Reese or one of her dozens of aliases. I haven't seen Bayou Barbie. I haven't seen Me Bounds, Queen, Social Media Princess.
Angel Reese is everywhere this season. Headlines, interviews, social media, feeds of media keep saying she's the face of the WNBA, and you can't miss all the coverage. Forbes even called her one of the main drivers of the league's growth. Rhea herself goes Allen, saying she's the reason people are tuning in and that she'll go down in history for promoting the league. But when it comes to the All-Star fan, voting the numbers tell a different story. Media says Reese is a face, but fans just didn't vote for.
And it's because everybody's watching because of me too, except everybody's not watching because of you too. I mean, guys, if the ratings ain't enough and the attendance ain't enough and what happened at LSU ain't enough and all this other stuff ain't enough to tell you where Angel Reese's place is, well, it's 13th place.
Right now, Angel Reese is sitting in 13th place with around 173,000 votes. That's not even close to the top 10 for all the hype fans are sending a clear message they're looking elsewhere. And it's not just the big names ahead of her rookie Kiki, is pulling in about 213,500 votes more than Rhee.
Second most popular player in the league. That doesn't look like the second most popular player at all.
Between the media's narrative and actual fan support is impossible to ignore. If you look at someone like Aaliyah Boston, who's in third place with about 447,000 votes, the contrast is huge. Reese's total isn't just a little behind, it's not even in the same conversation.
Head of Angel right now. Angel is not in the top 10. And at least, right here, one of her fans is freaking out. The WNBA Open All-Star voting, and I'm voting for Angel Reese to be an All-Star. It's been open for like a week.
It's really happening. Here it looks like fans are tuning out the hype and making their own choices. Of media can push a player all they want, but it's the fans who decide who matters. When it comes time to vote, Rhee gets plenty of attention in the press. But when fans are asked to show support, they're picking players who are connecting with them in a different way. Caitlin Clark, A'ja Wilson, Afiza Keir. These are the names dominating the voting. It's not just about stats or headlines. Fans want authenticity, performance, and a real connection. Rhea has a spotlight, but the votes show she's not turning that into real support. Some of this comes from fans pushing back on being told who to cheer for when the media crowns some of the face of the league. Expectations rise if the performance doesn't match the hype fans notice right now. They're not seeing enough from Rhea to justify the buzz. Meanwhile, Clark is breaking records and leading a real movement. Fans want someone authentic, not just a headline. Reese's face is everywhere, but impact matters. And the votes reflect that. And guess what? Paige Boers is ahead too. Let's be real, being sixth on the Dallas Wings, that's a tough spot.
Surprising. 3 months ago, Paige Beckers was the only star in women's basketball not named Caitlin Clark. She entered the WNBA dump with a massive amount of mainstream notoriety. But as soon as she put on the hard hat, as soon as she was sized for the steel-toed boots, the second she took off the UConn jersey and exchanged it for the Dallas Wings.
Here's where things get complicated. Media votes count for 25% of the final All-Star selections. That means Rhee could still move up even if fans didn't put her in the top spots. If the media uses their votes to push her up the rankings, it could spark real controversy. Fans have already spoken with their votes. If the final results don't match what the fans want, there's going to be backlash. It's not just about one player, it's about whether the league is really listening to its audience. This whole situation isn't just about Reese missing out on All-Star recognition. It's about what fans are saying with their votes. They're showing that performance and connection matter more than media campaigns. The gap between how the media sees the league and what fans actually want is growing. And with the All-Star voting numbers out there for everyone to see, it's clear that fans are ready to rewrite the story themselves.
Journalism and claim that Angel Reese is the face of the WNBA because she leads the league in followers on social media, along with missed layups and a complete lack of athleticism.
This WNBA All-Star voting is a wake-up call for anyone following the media's script for months. You've seen headlines and interviews putting Angel Reese and A'ja Wilson front and center with outlets like Forbes calling them the key drivers of the league's growth. But when fans had the chance to vote, they went a different direction. The numbers make it obvious on-court performance and genuine connection are what matter most. Look at the top of the leaderboard.